And we are live. Hello and welcome to Conversations on Content. My name is James and I help you create the skills you'll need to build a successful YouTube channel. Welcome to the show. Today we're talking about planning. There's an old saying that says that you don't plan to fail, you plan I can't talk today. There's an old saying that says, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. And if you want to win at YouTube, you have to plan effectively in order to be able to get the most impact. So today, we're going to help you with planning a video. We're going to walk you step by step through the planning phase that we go through whenever we create a video so that we can help you get started as we go through. We're starting our second series. We just finished a series on how to set up your YouTube channel, and this is the beginning of our next series, which is how to create a video. So the first part of creating a video is creating a plan for your video, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So hello, Adrian. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're having a fantastic week. We have been gone all week. My daughter, Emily, had some doctor's appointments up in Dallas. And so we were up there all week. We just got home a couple of hours ago. Well, about what? We got back about 2:00 this afternoon. And so it's been a little hectic since then. So I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done before the show tonight. But we're going to go ahead with it anyway. So we always try to plan out our shows. And there's two different types of plans that we do. For our videos, which is what we're going to do a walkthrough tonight, we do an outline of our videos and kind of plan out what we want our video to look like. For our regular shows, for our live streams, we do what's called a run of show or a blueprint for the show, and we're going to actually do a whole show on the run of show and blueprints later on. We learned how to do the run of show from Owen Video. He's got a free template on his site on how to do that. But planning is one of the essential steps to creating our content. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show you some of that. And I thought the best way to do it is I've got a video I'm going to record anyway. So we're just going to plan the video right here on the live stream and show you kind of our process that we go through when we're planning out a video. So hope you're having a fantastic day. And we're going to screen share here. I've already kind of started looking. One of the things, the first thing that we want to do is we want to pick our topic. And so I've been getting a lot of questions about different effects that we've been doing on our thumbnails with Canva. And so I thought I would do some videos on how to do different effects on Canva. One of the ones that we've been asked a lot about, and it's one of the most frequently asked questions, is how we're doing the text outline on Canva. So we're going to plan a video on how we do text outlines in Canva. So I've already been over here on YouTube and I got my screen share up. We're going to bring it up. And you can see right here, I've got my TubeBuddy right here. And in TubeBuddy, we have already been doing some keyword research. We found something that's a very good score. It's just Canva text outline. It's just going to be our keyword phrase. And when we get that, now we can go over here to the left-hand side under actions, and we can go to add to topic planner. And now we are going to close that out. This is one of my favorite tools inside TubeBuddy is the topic planner. Because once I get things started in the topic planner, we can see if I can find it here. Because inside the topic planner, well, then we can plan out our videos so that they can be ready to publish. And one of the great things about the topic planner is it's available on the YouTube app. So you can actually, or it's available on the phone app. So you can use the topic planner with the phone app to plan out your video. So it's right here, video topic planner. There it is. And it should be the last one. It just adds it down to the end so we can open it up. And now we just have this little video here. One of the great things, you can do bullet points, you can do different text effects, and you can also, once you create the video, you check the little video complete box and it'll take it out of your draft list. So the first thing that we're going to do is Canva text outline. And so we're going to work on a title. There we go. So we're going to just do, there's going to be our title, how to do Canva text outlines free for stunning YouTube thumbnails, because it's going to be a free feature within Canva that we're going to do. So then we're going to do our hook is going to be, this is like the only thing we actually script out in our videos is the hook, and we'll come back and write that in just a few minutes once we get it started. Then we're going to do our opening. And so this is where I will greet, introduction, and out Canva. Well, one of the things that we're going to do is we are going to do a recommendation that people sign up to Canva for free. I actually have an affiliate link for Canva, so we will direct people through our opening to our Canva affiliate link. That's one of the things that I always try to keep in mind whenever I'm doing these is I want to, put whatever kind of promotions or call to action I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that there. Now we're going to do probably 2 or 3 bullet points. So first of all, why text outlines are important. And these are just kind of the bullet points we're going to cover. How to add text in Canva. How to add text outline. How to adjust text effects in Canva. Then we are going to do conclusion, and we are going to do our conclusion for this one is going to be just how to create full Canva. We already have another video that we've already done on how to create a thumbnail in Canva. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our conclusion, and we're going to recommend people to our video on how to create full thumbnails in Canva. One of the things we always do is we plan our video. One, you want to have your hook that's going to compel people to watch your video. You want to have your opening where you introduce yourself. You tell people, why they should listen to you. Like I've been using Canva for about 2 years, and I've been doing a lot of different things with creating better thumbnails. We're going to start with why that text effect can be important to your thumbnails. And then we're going to show step by step how to do these things. We're going to screen share. One of the things I always include in my plan, if I'm going to do screen shares, I'm going to do screen shares. I'm going to do a B-roll finished effect in Canva. So we're going to do a pop-up that's going to show what the finished effect of what we're going for is. And so let's work on our hook. So this is probably the most important part of a video, is going to be that opening hook and telling people exactly what you are trying to do. And this is just a simple planning process. It's not that complicated for these short videos like this. This is why I chose a short video. Of course, the more complex your video is, the more you want to include different things in there. And for example, if you're just doing a talking head video, you might want to do 2 or 3 B-roll clips in there. Since this is going to be a screen capture tutorial, it's not going to be a whole lot of B-roll. So for our opening hook, we are going to try, let's see. We want our keyword phrase, but we also want it compelling. I use stunning in the title, so I'm going to use stunning in here. Most. So that's basically our hook. It's going to be creating stunning thumbnails that grab viewers' attention is one of the most important jobs you have as a YouTuber. Today, I'm going to show you how to do Canva text outlines to make the text on your thumbnails pop and get more attention. So this is going to be one of our videos that we got coming out. In the next video, we're going to show you also how to actually film the video, and we're going to show you step by step how to do that. So opening, we're going to introduce ourselves, and I kind of want to think through what am I going to say in my opening. I don't have to outline my opening, but my name is James. I help you build your YouTube channel and create the skills you need to build a profitable YouTube channel. We've been creating thumbnails for over 2 years on YouTube and using Canva every step of the way. It's one of our favorite tools to create stunning thumbnails to help you get more views. You can check out Canva right here at the link below, and you will find the link in the description below. So then, why are text outlines important? Text outlines are important because they can really make the text on your thumbnail stand out and give your thumbnail more depth. So I'm just kind of thinking through what I want to say. The reason I always do this outline is I'm going to do this outline, and then we're going to sit on it for a day or two before we actually create the video, so that my brain can think about what I want to say in each one of these sections, and then we'll figure it out as we go. And we may do 2 or 3 or 4 takes on each one of these bullet points as we go through the video. Now, one of the reasons I like doing these bullet points is with just a little bit more editing, I can then copy and paste this information in this bullet list over to my video description. And so whenever I do this, hello, Perfecting Pearls. So whenever I do this outline, the reason I like doing outlines instead of a full script, I can take this from TubeBuddy and I can copy it and paste it into my description. Then all I have to do is record and upload the video. And once we get that up there, then we can just add in our timestamps and we have our chapters already done. So this is one of the reasons why I like doing the outline instead of fully scripting it out. One, whenever I've tried to do a scripted video, personally, it sounds like I'm reading. I haven't been able to get my presentation good enough with a scripted video that it didn't sound like I was reading a script. And it just seems inauthentic and unnatural to me. Now, some people love doing a script. Some people work better with a fully scripted video. So you have to find the style that works best for you in your videos. I'm just kind of showing you my outlining process and how we plan our videos out. So one of the things that we want to do then is we create this basic outline, and then we might put in some of the shots that we want. For example, if we're doing this, it's going to be mostly screen capture, and then whenever we do our opening and our conclusion are going to be me on camera just talking to the camera. But when we do the actual presentation, that part is going to be all screen captured, so you're really not going to see me. But then the other part of that is if I'm going to be doing all screen cap or all talking head, like we do on a lot of our videos, so, we do a lot of our mindsets, then we would plan out what those B-rolls are going to be, what images we're going to use. We want to include all of that in the plan. One of the things that we always do in the plan is what are our calls to action and where are we going to put that? So we're going to go back to our screen over here. And so I like to go right in the middle. So I've got, see, why screen shares is important. Go to there. Then we've got right here the last two. So right here in the middle, we're going to do our call to action. Oops. So there I've got my little call to action, maybe and we're going to probably rewrite and rephrase this a little bit. Again, this is just a rough draft. I never, the reason they call it a rough draft is it's always rough. The first one is always kind of rough, and then we kind of hone it in and really kind of detail what we want it to say. And we might try 3 or 4 different versions when we actually record it to get it to sound just the way we want it to sound. And I like, I was over at Shelly Saves the Day the other day. One thing she does is she does the take rules where she does multiple takes, all on one film. And then when she gets that take that she wants, she'll cut the film, and then you just cut off that last one, delete everything else, and you've got that perfect take that's the one that you want to use. I've never tried it that way, and that's something we're going to be trying. I've actually done a lot of, sometimes you'll see some of our clips, the reason it jumps around sometimes is sometimes I have pieces of 2 or 3 different takes that we pile together to actually make the finished video. And we've gotten better at recording those takes in a way that it flows a lot better. That's just something that you learn with practice. And we'll cover some of that during the actual filming process, which we will cover in a later video. Hello, Pearl Nini. You left Destiny's to come see me? I feel special. I was over there lurking. So we are kind of going through how we plan out a video. And so one of the things that we like to do as we're going through here, we have our keyword, we have our title, we have our hook, we have our opening statement, we have our text outlines, why they are important, which is going to be our first bullet point. Then we're going to screen share, and I'm going to delete that out. But the next part is how we add text to Canva, how to add text outlines. And this just kind of outlines and gives me a basic outline of the steps we're going to make sure we cover in the video that we're going to create. It's not going to be that long. I'm expecting this video to probably be about 3 to 5 minutes long. It's not going to be a very long video at all. But it's a very simple video. I found that these very simple tutorials do really well. For example, if you look at some of my older videos on my other channel, it was some of my videos that had the most views were only 3 to 5 minutes long. But because they were so short, they kept a long view duration, and they were able to gain a lot of traction with YouTube as YouTube changed the algorithm towards watch time being more important than subscriber count for ranking videos. That's why some of those videos now have 45,000 views on them, because they were so short and they had a retention of about 2.5 to 3 minutes on a 3.5 to 4 minute video. So you don't want it to be any longer than it has to be. One of the things I like to do is break these things down, especially when you're bringing in new people that don't know you. You want to keep them short because people have such a short attention span. But then you recommend them to another video. Like, for example, the video we're recommending them to at the end of this one. So this one's going to be about 3 to 5 minutes. And then we're recommending them to a 7-minute long video. So then we can maybe keep their attention just a little bit longer. And then from there, we recommend them to a 20-minute video, which can then keep their attention a little bit longer. And by the time you've gotten them through 2 or 3 videos, then you can, keep their attention for a longer period of time. You get more people engaged, and you're more likely to get somebody who doesn't know you to subscribe to you after they've seen 3 or 4 of your videos. So that's one of the things that we try to do within our plan. I think you're doing pretty well with your videos. The one thing I would do with your videos, Adrian, I like your videos. I think your content is great. The one thing I would do is more B-roll footage in there to enhance what you're talking about instead of just talking heads. And that's just something that we learned. People want those visual references. People like that, especially if you have proof, if you're teaching how to do something, even just some screenshots or something to show people a little bit, as well as telling them what to do, showing them a screenshot of the kind of results that they can get, is something that's really helpful with getting more people to click. Yeah, some. One of the things that I've learned, and I learned this from watching Nick Nimmin, you don't want to stand still more than about 5 to 10 seconds. You want that camera either zooming in, zooming out. This is why we started doing a lot of zoom ins, zoom outs. I can't switch cameras. I don't have multiple cameras to switch between. So, and that's one of the things that we actually when we're doing a plan for, say, a talking head video, we'll plan some of those zoom ins, zoom outs. We'll do zoom in and zoom outs everywhere we do a cut so that it doesn't just look like it jumps. Because if you notice, whenever you cut, sometimes we do zoom in and zoom outs just because we had a cut we weren't planning on, and it hides the cut and it makes it look more natural. Makes it look more like it was supposed to, instead of you talking and then all of a sudden the film does that little jump right there, but you're still at the same spot. Whenever you do that, do a zoom in, do a zoom out, do a pan, do something to change the view with that cut. That's just something I've learned. It helps make the videos flow just a little bit better. Or that's one of the places where we might throw in an extra piece of B-roll to cover that jump. Especially if there's a change, like say I had a lighting change or something changed in my lighting or in my setup, because maybe I did a take, I didn't like the take, so I went back and re-recorded it, but I didn't get the lighting exactly the same it was. See, and you can see that noticeable difference. Inserting that piece of B-roll in there kind of helps bridge that gap a little bit. So those are some things we will plan some of that, but some of it comes during the edit when we start seeing what it looks like in the edit. Pearl Nini, everyone is doing okay. Emily's appointments in Dallas went really well. We are preparing for surgery probably late March, early April, depending on how soon they can get us. He honestly would have put us into surgery this week while we were there if he had room in his schedule, but he's booked up until the end of March for his surgery schedule. He's like ready to go on this surgery now. So as soon as they can get us an opening in the schedule, we're going to be up there and probably be up there for about a week and a half while she's in the hospital having this hip surgery done. Who was it? Somebody gave me told me that they set themselves a take limit. Now, I sometimes do 3 to 4 takes. If I don't like a take that I get, then I might go back and re-record. But I try to do 3 to 4 takes. Why does she need surgery? Oh, she has hip dysplasia. She has her right leg. The femur is not in the hip socket. The hip socket did not fully form. And so over time, that leg has gradually got out of place, and it's no longer sitting in the hip socket. So the hip socket sits like this and is supposed to kind of cup around the foot. Hers, instead of cupping around, her hip socket is like this. And so her femur has slowly slid up, and the ball of her femur is now up above the hip. And so right here, it's grinding on her hip bone. So they have to go in and they have to pull the femur down, put it back in the socket, and then they have to basically build a fake socket around her hip so that it'll stay in place. It's something she was born with, but gradually over time it's gotten worse. They were supposed to do this surgery in March of last year, and then the world went into chaos. Everything got canceled, and she's been on high dosages of painkillers that she was only supposed to be on for 2 or 3 months while we were preparing her for this surgery last year. And so instead, she's been on those painkillers for over a year. Now they're having to worry about possible addiction to the pain meds, because they have her on Valium and other stuff to trying to control her pain in her hip. So they are trying to get this surgery as quickly as we can so we can start. Now we're going to have to wean her off of the Valium because she's been on it for so long. They're afraid of her being addicted to it. Yeah, she's pretty much in constant pain, and that's one of the other issues because they've been having a lot of problems with vomiting and not holding food down. And we think one of the causes of her vomiting is the fact that she's in constant pain. And I don't know if you've ever been in excruciating pain, it can nauseate you. And whenever she's in excruciating pain constantly, it doesn't help. So, and of course, she can't tell us. All we can go is by her moods as to whether it's hurting. She's nonverbal, so she can't tell us what hurts. We have to kind of guess, and we're guessing. We think that that's part of the problem. So, um, that's what this whole trip was about, and trying to get her prepared for surgery. And it looks like we are a go ahead for surgery probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks. um, we're going to be trying to get her into surgery. So, or as soon as they can get us on the schedule. So, but that's part of why we made this switch. This is part of why we started moving away from the storage scavenger. We knew this stuff was coming up, and she's going to have multiple surgeries coming up. She's got multiple things going on, and I needed to be in my business in a position where I can take it. I need to get me a new laptop because one of our nurses knocked my laptop off the couch and broke it. And so now my laptop, which is my mobile studio, got broken. So now I have to buy a new laptop. But which is why I wasn't able to do anything this week, was because all I had was my phone, and I wasn't getting a good enough service and signal on my phone and a stable enough signal on my phone to be able to go live or do anything. So we need to, but we're working on setting things up. Like with the scavenger business, the downside of that business is I have to be home to package and ship stuff. So if we have eBay sales or if we're doing auctions, I have to be home to ship stuff. With this business, everything, once I get all the products created, everything's delivered digitally, so I can do it from anywhere. Even with the coaching and the consulting that we do, I can do the coaching from anywhere. I just need to, have some privacy and set some time away from everybody else to do it. Whereas with, the reselling business, it's dealing with too many physical products, and it requires too much, and it's a ton of work. Doing the reselling business is a ton of work aside from doing the YouTube stuff. So, if I'm going to be doing the work anyway, I might as well be able to do a lot of work that I can take with me wherever we go, and doesn't have to worry about the business not being run because I'm not home to run it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But we are doing pretty well. Now, the secondary thing that we do is we do a run-up show. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough time to work today. I was going to actually set this up before tonight's live stream. It was part of my plan for today's live stream was to show you the run-up show. And I don't have it all, my templates all set up to show you the way I was going to. But basically what we do is we just have a Word document. And let me see if I can pull up the template that I do have. Nope, that's not it. So this is kind of our basic run of show. I think you can see this. Let me make sure you can see it. There we are. Jessica's doing okay. She's laying down right now, and we don't have Jesse today. He stayed behind. He stayed at Jessica's sister's while we were out of town. So this is basically our run of show. This is my show blueprint is what I call it. Owen calls it a run of show. I call it a show blueprint, but it's basically the same thing. Basically, we just start with our title and our keyword, and I might put 2 or 3 different titles in here of different titles if I'm testing. We can put our thumbnail, and again, if we're split testing a thumbnail, we might have a couple of thumbnails in here. And then we put our description. So we'll go ahead and write out what our show's description is going to be that's going to go into YouTube, and then what tags we're going to use. Now, I also save this run of show so I can revisit a topic later, or I can also take these run of show templates. The reason I love saving the run of show templates is, say a conference or somebody comes to me and says, hey, we would like you to come and speak to our group about XYZ topic on YouTube. Well, I could say, hey, we've already done a live stream on that. I've got the run of show. We can just pull that run of show and use that as our blueprint for the presentation we're going to do for them. We'll save all the slides that we made, and I create a folder on my desktop, and the run of show and all the slides go into a folder, and they're labeled with the title of that show, so I know what the topic is for that particular folder. And that way I've got everything already set up, so I could take any one of our shows and I could go do a stage presentation on the same show, whether it was a stage for a small group, say an office meeting, or if it was a big stage, doing a presentation at a conference or something. I could pull out one of our run of shows and use that as a presentation. So that's one of the reasons why I like writing these and keeping them. So I'm going to start off. I write out my hook. It's really the only thing that I script out is that opening hook. And then we have our bumper. Bumpers are like where I do my ad for TubeBuddy, or we do an ad for different things, and that's what bumper I'll put the link to whatever bumper video we're going to use. Inside StreamYard, I can actually upload them directly into StreamYard, so I already know. I just put what title of bumper I've got, because I've got 4 or 5 different bumpers in StreamYard. Then we'll do our intro. And so then we're going to kind of set up and talk about what our topic is and why it's important. Quick joke or question of the day. And then we start going into our bullet points. And I usually do 2 or 3 bullet points. And then we'll do our call to action, talk to the chat a little bit. Then we'll go to bullet point 3, maybe 4 or 5, however many bullet points you want. You can add more boxes. And then just kind of your wrap up and conclusion and Q&A with the audience. And then closing, you always want to kind of think about what video do you want to recommend people to next, put that into your closing, and then get that set up. Again, I kind of got the basic template from Owen Video for that blueprint, but then I've kind of changed it up a little bit to make it my own. Yeah, we rest when we can. And we've been resting pretty well. I've had Emily most of the afternoon, which is why I didn't get things set up for the show tonight ahead of time like I usually try to do. But appreciate it. And, we're doing what we can. But we also, we got to get things going. We're trying to build this channel. We're trying to get some other things done. I've got a big mess in my house I've got to get cleaned up. We've got some things that we have to get fixed and set up for Emily post-op, because she's going to be in a half body cast for about 6 to 8 weeks after this surgery. So we have to set up some things and get things ready for that. we've got some work we've got to do on our vehicles, and we've got some things we have to make arrangements for, some things around the house for her to be able to get around and do the things that we need to do when she's in that half body cast, because we have to have a special setup inside our vehicle for her to be able to be buckled in, and because she can't sit in her car seat in that body cast. So it is what it is. This is something we were preparing for over a year ago. So we were kind of prepared for it. We kind of already knew what we were getting ourselves into. We'd already done our research on it and all that stuff. And it's just a matter of, we just been kind of biting our nails waiting for when it was going to happen, because, she's been, it's one thing to sit here and see your child in pain every day and not be able to do anything about it. That's probably one of the hardest things that we have to deal with being a parent of a special needs child, is seeing your child in pain and not being able to do anything to help them. So, all right. So, do you have, if y'all have any? There's only a couple of you here. If there's anybody in the chat, also, if you're watching this on the replay, we always come back to the comments later. So, if you have any questions about how to plan your videos, the more detail you can put into that plan, the better your video is going to be. The more you can put into that plan up front, the easier the workflow is going to go, because now you can just take that plan and you just check off each step in that plan to make sure you have everything. You can make your plan to have that list of every B-roll clip that you need, how long those B-roll clips need to be, what kind of shots you want. And then you can start planning, what do you want your thumbnail to look like? What are you going to create your thumbnail out of? Start putting all that into your plan and start thinking about those ideas. Again, the more detail, like this was just a very simple video. It's like I said, it's going to be about a 3 to 5 minute video. It's not going to be very long. I intentionally chose a shorter video to do this tutorial out of. But the longer the video is, the more detailed your plan needs to be. And if you're doing things like, sometimes there's things like when we're doing storage units, okay, we may not be able to fully plan it out, but we already know we can kind of have a basic plan. We know we're going to be, for example, we just bought a unit, so we're going to introduce the unit, talk about maybe how we got the unit, what we got the unit for. So that'll go into our opening plan. And then we'll put in there, we're going to do unboxings, but we really don't know what the plan for the video is going to be until after we get into the unit, because sometimes we get into the unit and we don't find much of a story. We just find a bunch of stuff, but not very much personal stuff, not a lot of personal information. Sometimes we get in there, like this last unit we got in there, and the very first bag I opened, we started unfolding a story in that unit. And we knew as soon as we opened that first bag and we found the paperwork that they had been were in prison for drug possession and drug possession with intent to distribute is what they were in jail for. As soon as we saw that paperwork, we knew we had a story to tell in this unit. So we started focusing our footage on stuff that would help promote and tell that story. Sometimes we have 5-6 hours worth of footage out of a storage unit that we're compressing down into a 15 to 20 minute video. And we have to take that footage and make sure it tells a compelling story that people are going to watch, people are going to keep listening to. But luckily, when we're able to start finding that story, then we can start kind of teasing that story and crafting as we record how we're going to tell that story in the post-production. One of the things that's something we didn't do in the early days of the Storage Scavenger channel, was we didn't really tell a story with the units, and nobody liked the videos. Most of them got like 2 or 3 minutes of watch time and they were gone. And it wasn't compelling. It wasn't nothing to keep people's interest. Those are more entertainment videos, and you kind of be a little entertaining, but also you've got to be a good storyteller, which we didn't know at the time, in order to really keep people's attention on those kind of videos. Hi, Oso. I saw your short, and I know it was only 2 items, but 2 items is better than 0 items. I saw your comment. I like that little bear raccoon. It looked like a raccoon / teddy bear. So, you got to start. That's what part of this plan. One of the things that we try to do is we do, for, say, a talking head video. And I talk about this all the time. We have right here our story journal that we keep right here on our desk, where we write down personal stories. Sometimes we write down stories of some of the clients that we work with when we're coaching somebody. But we use that personal story journal, and we will go back through those stories, and right in there, we're going to tell this story, because this story makes the point of what we're trying to share in this video. And putting that into that plan helps you to kind of formulate how you're going to connect. So if you're just doing talking head videos, share personal stories, share stories of other people you've helped. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a paying client. It could be somebody that you helped for free with the same problem. As long as you've got a story that you can tell, then that's something that you can use to help people. When we first started this channel, one of the things I talk about all the time, when we first started this channel, I spent one weekend helping 5 different channels set up and start their first live streams. And so that's why the very first thing we did on this channel was a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up and use StreamYard, was because that's what people were coming to me and asking for the most right then and there. When we recorded those videos, we had just spent 3 days coaching 5 different channels on how to set up and start their first live streams. And so right after I did that, this was like a month before I even launched the channel, the first thing that we did was we recorded a 3-video series on how to set up and optimize your StreamYard, and how to use all the different features inside of StreamYard, and which features are paid and which ones are free, based on helping people set it up and answering their questions as we went. We tried to make sure we answered all those questions that everybody was asking in those videos. So, that's how we come up with these ideas for our content, like the video that we just did this little plan for. For those of y'all that missed it, y'all go back and watch the replay. We just kind of went through kind of a step-by-step plan on how I plan out a video. I actually did a video that we are working on. We're doing a step-by-step how to plan, record, edit, and publish a video. That's the series we're working on right now. This is the planning. This is the first step. And so we just did a live walkthrough as we planned out this video. It's going to be a short video on how to do a text effect in Canva. The reason we're doing that video is I've had multiple people ask me how we do it. And so I did some keyword research, and I found that there's people searching for that information. And so because there's people searching for that information and people are asking me for that information, I'm creating a video on how to do it. And that's one of the things that we're doing that. So I showed how to use a TubeBuddy keyword planner to plan that video out and how to set it up. And a lot of times I'll do the keyword research and I'll figure out the keyword, the topic and the keywords, and I'll save it into that topic planner. And then if I'm going to a doctor's appointment, we might be sitting in the waiting room for 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes when we go to these doctor's appointments. I can sit there on my phone, or sometimes, we get into the back room, the nurse sees us, and then we're waiting another 15, 20 minutes before the doctor gets here. Sometimes I can plan out 2 or 3 videos just waiting on one doctor's appointment. So this is something you can do if you're on the go, if you've got things going on. I might be, I can't because I'm usually driving when we're in the car. That's why I have to go everywhere, because I'm usually driving. Jessica doesn't drive very much. So because of that, when we get somewhere, a lot of these appointments I have to drive, but then she actually goes into the appointment with Emily, and I have to sit out in the car nowadays because with COVID, they only allow one parent in. So I can't even go to the appointment, but I had to drive. So I'm sitting in the car working on planning videos. I've got about 50 video topics in my TubeBuddy keyword planner, and I just open it up and just start planning out videos, and I've got a whole bunch of them in there. And that's why I like that TubeBuddy keyword planner, because I can use it on the app, and I can use it on my phone, I can use it on my tablet, or I can use it right here on my desktop. So that's some of the ways that we plan these videos out. But then you want to make sure you're including your B-roll footage. What B-roll footage do you want? Put that into your plan. What call to actions are you going to use? Where are you going to place those calls to action? If you notice, I didn't put my call to action at the beginning of the video. A lot of people put that call to action right there in their opening statement. If you're targeting people that don't know who you are and have never seen any of your videos, and that's where you're putting your call to action, you're going to lose a lot of people. We noticed a huge drop off in our audience retention. In fact, for those of you that are watching on the replay, check right here. You're going to see a video that we're going to link to. We actually did a test, and we had 3 things that we changed in our videos that increased our audience retention by 40%. One of them was moving our call to action from the beginning of the video to the middle of the video. So one of the things that we started doing is we moved that call to action and stopped doing it before we gave any information or any content. We started giving about half of our content and then doing a call to action to subscribe, to like, to share our video. Pick 1 or 2. I don't recommend doing all of them in every video. The more choices you give somebody, the less likely they are to make a choice. So limit the choices they have. Tell them to give you a like. Tell them to give you a subscribe. And don't do the same one in every video. Sometimes we ask people to subscribe. Sometimes we'll ask a question and ask people to comment below to answer the question. Sometimes we'll ask them to give us a thumbs up and share the video out on social media. That's what we're using in this one. And so you want that call to action. And then you want another call to action at the very end of your video where you're directing them to another relevant video. For example, this one is a how to do a shadow an outline on your text in Canva. We actually have a video that we already did that's how to make a thumbnail in Canva. So it's a full thumbnail step-by-step tutorial. It's about 7 to 10 minutes long. So because of that, this one's about 3 to 5 minutes. So we're going to recommend them to another video that's going to help them make better thumbnails that's longer than this one. So one is going to hopefully keep them engaged more. If they're already showing interest in learning how to use Canva to make better thumbnails, because that's why they're watching this video, is because they want to use Canva to make better thumbnails, then we're sending them to another video that's going to show them how to use Canva to make better thumbnails. They're more likely to click on that link at the end, but we have that call to action at the very end of the video, and that's what's going to be on our end screen. That's what's going to be in our end card, and that's what's going to be in our pinned comment and in the description of the video, so that we have that link funnel that sends traffic to that other video. It's also a video that we did early on in the channel, so it didn't get a whole lot of views. So we're going to be trying to drive some more views to a video that we created that we thought we did pretty well on. It just didn't get a whole lot of traction because nobody knew who we were. So there's a couple of theories on how to do that. You can either send them to one of the most popular videos on your channel that's performing really well, or if you have a video that didn't perform very well or didn't get the traction because of your growth, or what when you published the video something happened, like that one was one of our first videos that we put out. We only had like 5 subscribers on the channel at the time, so it didn't perform very well. But because of that, now we're trying to funnel some traffic into some of those earlier videos through some of these videos. Hope that makes sense. So if you have any questions about planning your videos out, leave them in the chat or leave them down in the comments below. If you're watching this on the replay, we're going to give people a couple of minutes. How's everybody doing? For those of you that came in late, we did have a good trip this week. We went and took Emily to Dallas. We saw some doctors. We're getting ready for surgery. She's having surgery on her hip. So things are going to be a little hairy for the next couple of months, but we're going to, keep plugging along. We're going to keep batch producing some more content so that we have some content ready to go into buffer in case we're not able to record while we're traveling like we were this week. I didn't hardly have any recording done this week. I did do some planning. I did do some additional planning and stuff, but I wasn't able to do any recording while we were gone this time. And part of it's privacy. I didn't have any privacy. I've been gone for a whole week. We left on Saturday, just got back this afternoon, and I had no privacy the entire week. Good night, Adrian. I'm actually fading pretty quickly myself. We've also already been on for almost an hour, and I don't see a lot of questions coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the show off tonight. We appreciate you guys coming out, supporting the channel, helping us out. If you like this video, if you like this tutorial, give us a thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next show. Till then, peace. And remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. Keep going, keep growing, be better today than you were yesterday. We'll see you next time.